True Trading Group, May 6th was a solid day. Actually, am 4 for 4 today. 3 for 3 trading small caps. One tiny profit from a SPY put option trade that I had yesterday that I held into today. Took profits when we dropped lower, dropped below yesterday's lows. This morning, ended up taking some profits off the table. I held on to a piece. Markets bounced back midday. I dropped it, and I was basically break even, but tiny green. Markets ended up rolling over very late in the day, going into the close, and that was. But by that point, I'd already exited my options because they expired today. So it was small green on that trade. But 3 other really nice wins today, guys. MGNX, the big monster mover of the day, finished up 230%. Made money on MGNX, made money on IZEA, which is a super cheap stock that I typically don't usually trade those stocks below $1, but the chart pattern I just could not resist. And then CPSH, another small cap. So I traded 3 small caps today, all 3 winners. We are going to break down the small cap mania on this video. I'm going to walk you guys through all 3 of my trades. Before I do that, I want to remind each and every single one of you that for the month of May, we are doing we're holding our Memorial Day weekend sale for the entire month of May and giving a 36% discount because in June, we are adding new features to the True Trading Group platform. I'm going to share with you real quickly, and then we're going to get into the trade alerts. In June, we are adding a trading simulator where you guys can paper trade. We're also adding real-time level 1 data. We're adding the ability to get access to real-time level 2 subscription. So you guys can actually have level 2 right on the TGG website. You don't have to use a different service provider. You can do it right on the site. And also the ability to buy and sell straight from the TGG website like you have on Yahoo Finance. So Yahoo Finance, that same software that they have on Yahoo Finance, we're implementing that same software on the TGG site. So you guys will be able to actually access your brokerage account without leaving the TGG site and actually having to go and open up a new browser, just like they have it on Yahoo Finance. So we're adding a lot of new features. So the price is going to go up in June. So I want to remind you all that this month, using the coupon code TTG36, you can get a 36% discount on a 1-year all-inclusive membership that'll give you access to all the courses, as well as all future courses coming out down the road. There's no upsells. You automatically get access to all the new courses as a member, as well as obviously the chat room, the trade alerts, text message trade alerts, and email swing trade alerts as well. You guys get access to all that. So remember, click the link in the description below. Use coupon code TTG36 to get a 36% discount before prices go up in June. Okay? So now let's dive into what happened today and what we did. First trade of the day was CPSH. We're going to talk about CPSH today. CPSH, the lesson to take from this one, guys, on small cap today is really all about putting in the work pre-market and identifying levels. What we did pre-market is I identified a support level around $1.75. We were gapping above that level. I said, okay, I'm looking for $1.75 to become my area of support. Let's draw a line across that $1.75 area. There it is. Let's go out to the daily chart and pan it back. As we look left, you guys can see we get a double top here, February and March, this resistance level on CPSH. So when we were gapping up today above this level, I said, guys, look for a pullback into that area. Look for it to become support in the morning. Well, let's zoom in. Here you guys can see right off the opening bell, we pulled in right to where? That 175 area, and we held beautifully. Now, when this pulled in, okay, I'll take you guys to just a 1-minute chart just so I can show you the price action because this, I don't trade 1-minute charts at all, ever. I'm just showing you the price action because of how quickly the stock bounced off this level. You see how quickly the stock came in, tested this level, and immediately bounced off it and got back up over VWAP. So that's what I was seeing, guys, on this price action, looking for 175 to become support. What I do in this situation is I'm looking at level 2. If the stock comes down to like 180 and the bids get hit at 180, 179, 178, 176, 175, and as soon as those bids get hit, they immediately pop back up. So it's bids get hit 180, 179, 178, 177, 176, then all of a sudden 77, 78, 79, 81, 82. And then if those bids get hit back down to a 77, 76, and all of a sudden 78, 80, 81, 82, like the bids come flying right back in on level 2. When I'm looking for an area to be support and I see that price action on level 2, that's my sign that there's support there. So right there, guys, I went ahead and I jumped in, pulled the trigger, got long right here at $1.84. Take you guys to the trade announcement on the day. Here is the trade log from chat that I download at the end of the day so you guys can see all the trades that went through today. Here you guys can see at 9:34 a.m., long CPSH at 184. Now, this happened very quickly. Okay, I'm not a scalper. My trades usually last several minutes to several hours. But in this case, as soon as I enter the trade, within 1 minute, literally within 1 minute, 60 seconds, the stock shot to new highs of the day at $2. So right away I said, wow, okay, I'm just going to take profit off the table. And you can see here 1 minute later at 9:35 a.m., I took some profit off at 196. So I sold 25% of my position there at 196. Now still holding the bulk of the position. You see we pull back in. That area holds support again. The trade line catches up to the low of the day, and bang, you get this nice extension through the highs, and the bulk of my position comes off the table on the new high. You can see here at 9:46 a.m., so 12 minutes after that first entry, took more profit at 214. So 50% of the position comes off the table at 214. And now what I'm looking for is that previous high to become support and see if we were going to give us some continuation. Okay, we kind of had a little bit of a triangle, TTC triangle pattern that was starting to form here, but we needed that trade line to work its way up. And you can see the trade line never crossed over VWAP, and the stock pulled back in. And once we pulled back in, I got flat the last piece of the position right here at 189. Okay, so long at 184, sold 25% at 196, sold 50% at 214. Sold the other last 25% at 198. So profitable all the way around. Not a home run trade. Here's entry, first take, second take, final take. Not a home run, but I'll take singles and doubles all day long. Okay, that was the first trade of the day. That was CPSH. Okay, next we have IZEA. IZEA, very, very cheap stock, guys. This was a 60-cent stock. I usually do not trade these stocks. Okay, I usually don't trade stocks below $1, but this chart pattern was just too damn good for me to pass up. I just made a video maybe a week or two ago. I forgot what the ticker was. It was another real cheap stock below $1. I just couldn't resist the chart pattern. This is the exact same situation. I could not resist this chart pattern. This was as grade A could get on this IZEA setup. And I'm going to show you guys, walk you guys through. I'm going to move my face so I can show you guys the volume on this. So here you guys can see we have this big, strong surge off the opening bell. But the thing you need to pay attention to here on the way up on that surge is look at that volume. Incredible, strong, steady, increasing volume on the way up. That's exactly what you want to see. Then you see a very calm, controlled, orderly pullback. No real panic, just a calm, controlled pullback with decreasing volume. Exactly what you want to see. Heavy volume on the way up signifies momentum. Low volume on the pullback signifies profit taking rather than aggressive selling. Aggressive selling would have volume bars that look like this. Okay, the slowdown in volume in this pattern is crucial. It's crucial to making this an A+ setup because that signifies profit taking, not heavy selling pressure. Then we draw out our Fibonacci retracement level, and you will notice that the 38.2 Fibonacci retracement level lines up with VWAP, the orange line on my screen, which lines up with the trade line, the teal line on my screen. This is as clean of a setup as clean could possibly be. Then you get the trade line VWAP crossover, where the trade line crosses over and above VWAP, one of my favorite triggering breakout catalysts. This is something that is covered in the advanced course section on the website. If you guys don't know what I'm referring to about the trade line or a trade line VWAP crossover, it is a breakout trigger that an entire chapter is covered in the advanced courses. You guys will learn this like the back of your hand. There's two things specifically you want to look for when it comes down to a trade line VWAP crossover to let you know that that crossover is significant. Because just like every other indicator, nothing works 100% of the time. So you need to find clues in a stock's price action that tells you that there's a higher probability of the stock doing one thing versus the other. Part of that is the decrease in volume on the pullback. Okay, that's part of it. Now, when it comes to the trade line VWAP crossover, there's two things you want to see happen to confirm the catalyst is in play. And that's a quick jump in share price and a quick spike in trading volume. if those two things occur right when the trade line crosses over VWAP, that's your sign that the trade line VWAP crossover is in play, and you can now rely on that setup. So right here, you guys can see we get a quick pop in share price as well as a quick increase in trading volume. There's all the confirmation I needed. I got long at 66 cents right here on that pullback into the trade line, because now after the trade line VWAP cross occurs, you now look for the trade line to be support. So on that pullback right there, I got long at 66 cents via limit order. Take you guys back to the trade announcements. You can see here at 10:11 a.m. long IZEA at 66 cents. Stop loss 60 cent area. Okay, back to the announcements. As always, I sell 25% of my position in front of the high of the day, just in case that high does not break. I don't want to get caught in a double top. Back to the announcements. You can see here at 10:16, took some profit off at 73 cents. Okay, then we break through the high of the day, we extend higher, and the bulk of my position comes off the table. Back to the announcements at 10:21 a.m. Took more profit IZEA at 81 cents from the 66-cent entry, and I'm now out the bulk of the position. So there's the entry. Here's 25% off the table. Here's 50% off the table. Then we start to try and hold this 75-cent area, which is crucial. Why is the 75-cent area crucial? Let me take you guys over to the daily chart. As I zoom this back, we look all the way left, you'll see here resistance at 75 cents. That is also a gap entry. So what I thought was, if we get above that 75-cent level, maybe we fill this gap. So I wanted to hold 25% of my position in case we fill that gap. Well, we started to hold support. We see we're hold, and we start to form again another little triangle pattern. So I actually added back to the position right there. Back to my announcements, you can see here, added back to IZEA at 7589. Okay, right here, 7589, I added back to the position, looking for the follow through to fill the gap. And my final take profit would have been up around $86, $87 cents, excuse me. Okay, that would have been my final take profit target. But you can see we didn't get enough juice to actually, I was actually very surprised. I thought once we got above 75, I thought this stock was going to fill that gap today. But you can see we ended up breaking it down. And once we broke back down, I exited that position. Back to the announcements, you can see here, I sold out for the remaining IZEA at 7101. So I gave some profit back on this trade, but still profitable on the trade. So again, not a home run. I'll take singles and doubles all day long. So there's the entry, 25% off the table, 50% off the table, added back, sold out. Okay. So still profitable on the trade, but again, not a home run. But I'll take singles and doubles all day long. Okay. Now let's go to my last trade of the day, which was MGNX, which was the monster runner from today that I'm sure everybody's talking about. Now, I missed this entire move because I was doing a one-on-one mentor session with a student. I do one-on-one mentor sessions usually around like 12:30, and I usually do them like after the close around 5 o'clock or 5:30. And I had one today, and I missed this entire move. I missed the entire move. But what this told me, let me move my face back. What this told me was, with this kind of volume, you see how strong and steady that volume was during the squeeze? This to me just had the feel of we're going to get day two. Okay, this had the feel to me that we're going to get day two. I'm actually still long some of this position, and I still do think we could get day two on MGNX if there's no offering or if there's no other news or anything like that. If the stock is left to trade on its own, I think we have a good chance of possibly seeing day two. I'm still holding 25% of my original position. Let's get to the trade itself. So after I was finished with my one-on-one, okay, I'm taking a look. I finished up with my one-on-one right around here, okay, right around here when the stock had just halted on the way down. Okay, so now I'm looking back at the stock. I'm back on my desk. I'm getting ready to maybe possibly make a move on this. And what I start to notice on this, guys, is when I draw out my fib retracement levels, okay, I started to see that VWAP was lining up with the 38.2 Fibonacci level. Okay, that's what I start to notice. The other thing that I start to notice is that right around that area, okay, is a prior high. That when we broke that prior high, that's when you had this huge volume surge and the massive squeeze. Okay, so remember, the stronger the volume on a break through the high, the greater chance you have of that high becoming support. But this was also a key level on the daily chart. Let me go back to the daily chart and zoom this back. Look at this level. Look at that resistance in May. That's multi-week resistance in May, where the stock tested that level like 3, 4, 5 times and was unable to break above it and rolled over. Okay, so now that we broke through that level here, I'm saying this might become an area of support now. I got in this trade early because it was holding up very nicely throughout lunchtime. We were coming into the afternoon. It was 2 o'clock. And I said, maybe this thing is just going to squeeze and keep going for round two. It kind of reminded me of BPTH. If you guys remember BPTH, it had that feel to it today. So I actually got long right in here just after 2 o'clock. I'll take you guys back to my announcements. You can see here at 2 o'clock p.m. Oh, actually 2 o'clock on the dot. Long MGNX at 23.82. Stop loss 19.25 area. Now, at first glance, you might say, "Oh my God, Mike, that's such a big stop loss." If that's your initial thought process when I just said that to you, you're setting your stop losses incorrectly. You have to set your stop loss based on where it belongs on the chart pattern that you're trading, not based on your position size. You set your position size based on the stop loss. You do not set your stop loss based on your position size. So as I'm looking at this stock, I'm saying, okay, the support level that I just identified is around 1925. That's the level from the daily chart that I just showed you. It's right around the 38.2 fib level. It's VWAP, and it's also that prior high. So I got multiple support indicators that are sitting there at this level to give me an area of support. If the stock breaks below that level, then the pattern that I'm trading right now is no more. That's where you need to set your stop loss. You need to set your stop loss based on if the stock breaks below this level, the pattern that you're trading is no more. That's how you properly set your stop loss. As long as the risk reward makes sense, okay, it's not a matter of, oh, that's too big of a stop loss. No, that's where the stop loss needs to be on a stock of this volatility that's trading this pattern. That's where it needs to be. Okay, anywhere else is too tight of a stop loss. Now, as long as the risk reward is there, if you're risking all the way down to 1925, you're risking $3 or $4, you better make sure that you're making, okay, 8, 10, 12 bucks if you're right. At the time, my entry at 23 and change, I said, if this is going to squeeze, it has room to 32.50. Why 32.50? As I pan this back, you guys can see here, major resistance, okay, at 32.50. There's a top, there's a top, there's multiple tops. So 2016, 2018, 2019, multi-year heavy resistance at 32.50. So I'm looking to myself and saying, okay, if I'm right and this thing is not done, this short squeeze is going to continue, I've got a chance this gets up to 32.50. Okay, so the risk reward makes sense. So I can enter the trade, set my stop loss 1925. Again, I don't use physical stops, I use mental stops. Okay, I like to see how a stock reacts once it reaches my stop loss area. And that's exactly what we had happen here. Okay, so again, I entered this trade a little early. I had to deal with this pullback. I'm not panicking during this pullback because we're not at my stop loss yet. We get down to that low. Okay, that area. This is the area I said if we get below it, this is where the pattern will be no more. Notice the V-shaped bottom that got put in here. Notice the V shape. That is exactly what you want to see when a stock pulls into a support level. When a stock pulls into a support level, you want to see it touch it and immediately get off of it. That's a sign of strong support. Strong support is when aggressive buying steps in front of that level that causes the share price to jump rapidly off of a level. Okay, that's strong support. Weak support is when there's not aggressive buying, okay, but selling pressure just slows down and the stock just kind of like sits on the level. Okay, like that's lazy support. That's weak support. Oh, didn't mean to delete that line. Put that back. Okay. All right. So that's what I'm looking at here. So when I saw that quick bounce back, I'm saying, great. I just got confirmation there is support there. Very similar to what we were looking at on CPSH. If you guys remember earlier in the video, we talked about the lesson with CPSH about coming into that support level, watching that level 2. Bids all get hit, they all come right back. Same thing happened with MGNX. MGNX, we went from 1975, whoosh, down to like 1915, 1920, and right back to 1990. I'm like, there's my support. Great. I took advantage of this opportunity and I actually averaged down my position and I added to my position at $20.10. Take through my announcements. Here you guys can see I added to MGNX at $20.10. Stop loss is now $19.15. Okay, so now I've added to the position right here. Averaging down is something that I never recommend beginner and inexperienced traders do. It requires an extra level of discipline and risk management that a lot of new and experienced traders do not yet necessarily have. And there's also a big difference between averaging down on a position when the chart pattern that I'm trading is still very much intact and averaging down on a losing trade. There's a very big difference between those two things. And new and inexperienced traders tend to not be able to make that distinction accurately between this is a losing trade, I should stop out, or the chart pattern is still intact, I can average down. And that's the biggest difference between a beginner trader and an experienced trader, and which is why I tell beginners, like beginner members that are part of TTG that just started trading, one of the rules I set for them is to never average down because you can get yourself into trouble if you don't have that type of discipline and risk management. More experienced TTG members, traders that have been trading for a year, 2 years, they're already profitable and they're looking to get better, then that's when I start to go over in one-on-one sessions with them, averaging down. And this is an example. I took advantage. I averaged down, and it was a great average down because the stock soared. Okay, so when we popped back up, okay, I got my average price down to 22.58 once I added. So my new average became 22.58. Okay, so when we got back to like 22.60, 65, 23.75, I'm like, 22.75. Now that my new average is 22.58, I'm like, let me take some off the table here. I kind of got away with one there, and I took 25% of my position off the table at 22.65. Okay, so I'm just reducing my risk now because I just sat through that pullback, added, I now got the bounce. Let me now take some of that off the table now. So now I can a little bit more comfortable hold on to the rest of the position. We get a nice little continuation move into the close, and I sell the bulk of my position right here, guys. Back to my alerts at 3:49 p.m. Took more profit at 25.25. Still holding some. So there's the entry. Here's the add, and I added half of my position. So I had 1,000 shares here, 500 shares at the add. And then here's your first take profit, 25% of the position. Here's your second take profit, 50% of the position, still holding 25% of my position. We're now trading at $24 after the close. So I decided to hold on to 25% of my position after already locking in the profits, just in case we squeeze tomorrow. I think maybe we can have a chance of seeing, of getting up to that 32.50 area. I figured it was worth a shot. Okay, but I already took the bulk of my position off the table, so I have small risk overnight unless something drastic happens and there's a press release or something like that that's out of my control. Okay, so we'll see what happens tomorrow. But that was my day today, guys, trading these small caps, 3 for 3. Trading these small caps. MGNX was a wild one. We're going to keep eyes on that tomorrow and see if we get some follow through. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to like this video for me. Show me how much you guys appreciate this content. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and absolutely make sure you hit that notification bell to make sure you guys don't miss out on any more of these videos. And do not forget, click the link in the description below. Use coupon code TTG36 to get a 36% discount on a 1-year all-inclusive membership before the prices go up in June. If you guys have been thinking about joining me in the TTG family, now's the time to do it. I'll see you guys in chat. Take care.